This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the Ben & Jerry's Moo-phoria Poppin popcorn. We've got buttery brown sugar ice cream with chocolatey popcorn chunks and sweet and salty caramel swirls. Isn't that beautiful? So we take a quick glance at the nutrition table. Pause if you want to read that. And there are no English ingredients listed here, so pause to read if you can read that. I'm going to take this out of its little confinement rather quickly if I can find the tab where to open up the plastic. Here we go. Let's take off the top. And this looks quite alright. Nothing to complain about, I've got to say. Pretty decent so far. So let's cut this one in half. So the cutting goes a lot easier than the regular pints, of course, because we've got a lot of air inside of here. And it looks quite good, I've got to say. Which one are we going to pick? I think we're going to pick the left one. Now I'm back at the desk and it's time for us to take a closer look at what we've got right here. So we've got our ice cream base, then we've got our popcorn pieces right here with that cocoa fat icing on there. And of course we've got our caramel sauce all the way through right there. Overall, I've got to say the first impression is quite decent. Color-wise, nothing really too spectacular. It does look nice and yellowy with a caramel tint overall, that rather special milk ice cream. And the popcorn pieces look quite natural, well, as natural as popcorn can look, that is coated with cocoa icing. And we've got our, of course, normally colored caramel sauce in these swirls right there. So I guess it's time to find out how it tastes. Let's see. Let's try to take just the base at first. You can of course see when we go right up in there, really close. You can see that there is a foam already peeking through, which is of course the signature move of these Moophoria ice creams. And the first spoon of the Moophoria, what's it called again? It's going in. The consistency of the ice cream is quite fine. It's of course, as a Moophoria, it's a lot more, it melts quite quickly. It's a lot softer. There is more air in there, of course, and it's overall not as firm as a regular ice cream pint from Ben & Jerry's or Häagen-Dazs or, well, whatever brand you choose. But it seems to be quite alright for now, because the ice cream base itself does taste very, well, I say naturally again, but it does have a very healthy seeming caramel flavor to it, and it doesn't really seem to be tasting too artificial at all, which is quite welcome, I've got to say. Now I'm gonna take a few more spoonfuls of that, and then we're going to check out the popcorn bits inside of here. Now we're checking out the popcorn bits, and they seem to be quite alright as well. Maybe you can have to be careful with the focusing and have to look through the viewfinder to get that right. It's a bit difficult to have it focus on that small of a thing, but they look alright. Here's a well, not really bigger one. Here is another one. They are all over the place, so they're stuck in. Oh, this is a big one. Yeah, look at this. Let's try to free it from its ice cream base shell. This is one right here. So they weren't really saving on those. Quite a few of them in here. I tried one of these before. Not really consciously, it was just mixed into the ice cream itself here, of course. And it does taste very much like popcorn with a cocoa icing on there. Not really special, but I'll get a few of those on my spoon and try to taste them for themselves as good as I can. Of course, we are a bit limited with the dexterity of the metal spoon right here. So I'll try these now. Now I've got to say that the popcorn bits themselves aren't really that great of a thing in ice cream, I would say. I've never tried anything like this before. This is the first time I've actually had popcorn in ice cream. But the texture of popcorn, especially when it's, you know, frozen and then it's being protected by the chocolate coating a little bit, but it's kind of chewy. It's airy, of course. There isn't much of a resistance when you bite it. Overall, it isn't really satisfying as a mix-in for some ice cream, I think. Yeah, I'm going to make up my mind about that, but for now, it's all right. The chocolate coating is fine. The popcorn itself is fine. It's not something that I would that I appreciate too much in ice cream. It seems, at least it seems like that right now. But I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to give my conclusion on the entire pint in just a second. So I finished my portion size of ice cream for today, and I've got to say that I've got mixed feelings about this. For a change, the ice cream base of this ice cream is lovely. It tastes just like a very decent caramel candy in an ice cream form. Wonderful flavor of the caramel itself. I do not really know if it's the ice cream itself, the base that tastes so much of it, or if it's just the swirls, because I couldn't really, you know, get too selective about that. It was a bit difficult to separate those two and get a spoonful of ice cream without some caramel swirls. But overall, I've got to say the base itself, with or without the swirls, very nice. Now the Poppin popcorn part of that entire thing, putting popcorn into ice cream and actually having it as a dessert, it is interesting, but it's something that hasn't been done too often for a reason, I guess, because the textures, they just do not match all that well when you eat them all at once. Maybe it's alright when it's just on top of the ice cream itself, and you've got decent ice cream in the bottom and some popcorn on top. But here, with that mix-in that is going on, it's a weird mix of textures, and the ice cream itself is nice and creamy, and actually quite creamy for Moophoria ice cream. Very decent indeed. Then you've got those oddly textured popcorn bits in there with their chocolate coating, and it's interesting. It's refreshing in terms of an ice cream theme, but overall it's not really all that great, I would say. Like I said before, I think there's a reason why not that many companies do that all too often. That being said, the popcorn itself was fine, but yeah, you don't really eat popcorn this much in that way anyway. So even if the popcorn is just dull and boring and there's nothing to it at all, you wouldn't really notice, because the ice cream base itself around it is very flavorful indeed. And yeah, I'm not sure if I should recommend this. They should probably just make this ice cream without the popcorn in there, and it would be really good, and I would definitely recommend it if it is available as such. Everything considered though, it gets a total rating of 7.19, which places it a bit higher than I initially expected, since Moophoria ice creams aren't usually my thing at all. Thank you very much for watching. If you have got a question or a video suggestion, leave it in the comment section down below. If you want to see more videos just like this one, please subscribe. Thanks again and take care. Bye bye.